Part of the ship, part of the crew. Welcome back, everyone. Captain Hook here with another video coming out of our Midgard Monday. This game here is a little bit of a friendly fire here. A couple of friends going at it. You hate to see it, but you love to watch it. So he's going to go ahead and play a Sindri. I won the dice roll. I went first. I had to pass. He discarded the 5 cards. Moria mirror, of course. I'm going to go ahead and use leader ability, discarding a Perona and the 2 from the top of my deck, using the ability to play the Perona. They go ahead and discard a Hina, and for the 6k swing, he uses a Perona as counter. So on to his 4-dawn turn. He's going to take a little time here to think what to do. He's going to go ahead and play a Suru. Got a -2 to my Perona. He's going to be swinging 6k at life using the leader ability, discarding a Kuzan. Then he also discards a Sabo and a Hogback. He's going to use Absalom. I'm going to take the life, and he's going to return an Ice Age and a Sabo to the bottom of his deck and pop my Perona with the Absalom. And that will conclude his turn. I'm now on my 5-dawn turn. So unfortunately my hand was kind of plagued with Navy. Wrong leader to have that happen to, unfortunately. So there wasn't really a lot of Thriller Bark moves I could do. But I go ahead and swing 5 at life. He takes it, no trigger, and I opt to play a Sabo using the draw 2, trash 2, because my trash was not looking exceptional at all. So now we're going to pass turn after the Sabo drop. He's on 6 dawn now. So he's thinking what to do here. He's going to go ahead and swing 5 at life. I'm a 1k out. He's going to use the Sindri here, very cheeky 5k. I'm going to go ahead and tap 1 out. And he's going to go ahead and swing 6,000 to life, using his leader ability, discarding a Judge. Himepo, by the way. And he's going to go ahead and play Hogback, using the ability, after he chooses 2 cards here to go back to the bottom. And he's going to pick up a Perona, and I take that life. I am down to 3. 3 to his 4 currently. So he goes ahead and passes the turn to us. So, I mean, his board's looking pretty threatening. Like I said, most of our hand is Navy at this point. So we're going to start looking at some removal. Either through the way of Gecko Moria's ability with Thriller Bark cards, or through the way of the Navy led by our very own Lord Saber Lucci. So we're going to go ahead and most likely remove most, if not all, of his board if we can. Because the threat is there. I'm at 3 life, and I know my hand's kind of getting a little bricky at points. I'm not holding a ton of counter. So after a little while of doing some mathematics in the old brain, we're going to go ahead and tap 1. We're going to play Great Eruption, -2 to the Absalom, and draw on a card. We're going to go ahead and grab 2. We're going to play down the Himepo here. And we're going to go -3 to the Hogback. And then we're going to hard play the Rob Lucci. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 back from the trash and pop both of his characters. So we're debating here. Well, we might as well just use leader. Instead of swinging at life, which I probably could have did, I swung at the Sindri because he did use her for a little 5k, which again, that's a card out of hand. So I just figured I'd get rid of that now. So he is now on his 8 dawn turn. So, I mean, we are semi-vulnerable right here. He's going to go ahead and drop a Rebecca, play the Hina out of trash, apply the -3 to my active Sabo. I'm sorry, -4 to the Sabo. He plays the Lucci, uses the Lucci ability, and targets my active Hamepo and my active Sabo. You hate to see it, but you know, with black, you know it's coming. Then he does just a regular basic 5k to life. I 2k out with a Perona. Again, I'm as you can see, that a little animated at the frustrations of just pulling straight up a Navy cards out of this whole deck and trying to figure out how to even still win. So we're going to take a little bit of time here to think. We're on 9 Dawn. The Gecko Moria play, you know, it is a thing. I believe I had one in hand by this point. It's just kind of, you know, does it benefit me to play it, or does it benefit me, you know, to play something else? And again, his board is a pretty decent. You know, you have 2 attackers plus your leader and you know, a nice little small blocker. Even though it's small, it still is a nuisance. It's still in the way. So we're going to go ahead and put 7 under lead. I'm just debating what to do here. So for the leader ability, I discard the hog back. There's a Moria and there's a Perona. But we play the hog back. Use the ability. And we go ahead and take the 8-drop Gecko Moria. I believe I have 2 in hand at this point. So we're definitely going to play the next one. And he does a double Perona for the discard, for the counter. And then we're going to go ahead and swing a 6 at Lucci, which he blocks with Rebecca. 7k with Lucci. Blocked by Rebecca. And for my last remaining 4 Dawn, a Borsellino comes out. This is just to use as fodder at this point, because he's going to have a 6k, he's going to have a 5k, and another, you know, probably 6 with leader ability. So to be able to, you know, potentially stop one of those is more helpful than not. So I'm still at 3 life, and he's at 4. He's now on his first 10 Dawn turn. He's browsing his trash to kind of see what kind of plays can be made. In, you know, essentially, I was semi-starving. Whether or not this is a good or bad idea, I'm not 100% sure. But I just, as far as the game has come, I didn't really see any avenues to really swing, you know, any little small shots at him for life. He goes ahead and plays a Sabo here, so, you know, he didn't have the Gecko Moria. Unable to do anything with that. He does the Sabo. He discards his cards here for the ability. He swings 7. I'm sorry. He swings 8 at my Lucci. He's gone. He swings another 5 at life. I pull it. And now he's going to be using leader ability, maybe. And he does. He drops the hog back, draws 2 trash 2. He's going to take the hog back, play the hog back, use the ability, sending a Kuzan and a Great Eruption back, and taking a 2k Perona to the hand. And unfortunately, like I said, I don't have much cards in hand, not much counter. You know, it was mostly all Navy, and I'm pretty sure at this point I had 2, you know, 8-drop Morias in hand. I mean, look at the board. I mean, his board is, you know, very overwhelming. I'm going to go ahead and play the Moria. Play a Borsellino active, and then I believe I just am taking a Sindri because, again, and look at this, all Navy cards are coming out. My goodness. I barely saw a Thriller Bark, barely saw it, and it was utterly tragic. But you know, we feel pretty good in this position here. You know, we got 2 blockers established on KO abilities, and I'm just debating whether to see what I can actually kill. You know, he has 1 card in hand, but he does have the Sabo blocker, so I decide to swing 7 right at the Hina, and he'll take that. I'm just browsing around on his board, so I go ahead and I'll swing 5 to life now. And he decides to take it. He could have also, you know, turned his Sabo sideways, because I couldn't kill it anyway. But that's okay. He decides to take life because he has no cards in hand. So we know that he has a Perona 2K for a fact. He's, you know, the thing with starving him is, in my mind, he doesn't have, you know, cards in hand to play. At least, you know, it limits his options that he could do. But I mean, he's still at 3 life, and I'm at 1. I got 2 blockers. They can't necessarily be KO'd, but I mean, just with his board, I'll probably need it. But he hard plays a Dr. Hogback, and he's looking at what to pull to his hand after he returns 2 to the bottom. So after sending 2, he goes and picks up another Hogback to hand. So he's thinking of who to swing at or what to swing at. And he goes 6,000. And I have to give him 2,000, unfortunately. And he's going to go ahead and swing another 7,000. And I was trying my hardest to keep these Borsalinos on board, just as attackers, to try to finish out the game, but I had to rip 1 just to block that Sabo hit. And he's going to use a Dr. Hogback for my last life, which is now in hand. I have 1 blocker remaining. He still has leader. He swings a nice, cool 8,000. Hand not looking good. You know what I mean? And he uses his leader ability. He trashes. And he's going to play another Hogback. Use the ability. And he pulls a Perona. So he's stacking up the 2Ks just in case he needs some counter. And I have to use my last blocker for that. So this is probably one of the hardest moments of the match right here. I know for a fact I have in hand another Gecko Moria. I have a pretty thick trash. It's generally comprised of all Navy cards. And, you know, I mean, look at the board. He has 5K, 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 6K, 6K. Very tough. He has 3 life. You know, I have potentially 4 attacks. He has, I believe, 3 cards in hand. And we know they're all 2Ks. So, you know, even if we did, you know, 3 swings, you know, he has, you know, he'd eat 1. Now he'd have, you know, potentially, you know, 7K in counter now, and then, you know, he'll be able to counter out of at least our last attack. So unfortunately, we know from that perspective that, we really can't win if we went straight lethal. So it's tough because now looking at more of a removal base, it's kind of the only option that I have here. So I'm gonna go 5 for 5. He rips it. He definitely doesn't want to get rid of any counter for no reason. I mean, I have 0 life. He doesn't really need that many attackers. So this was ultimately a 7k swing here at the Sabo. I'm more or less prepping for my next turn if I can make it there. But we get rid of 2 because we can play the Moria. So he's thinking about saving it because I only swung a 7 and he goes ahead and makes it an 8, protecting the Sabo there. I still have 1 9k swing left, but I'm going to scoop up all the Dawn. I'm going to play another Gecko Moria. I'm going to throw down an active Borsalino. But I was also thinking about a Rebecca, Rebecca Hina kind of deal. The only problem is I just didn't really have the Lucci in hand, but I did the Rebecca just so I can grab a Sabo. This could be something potentially good for next turn. And I still didn't use his second ability, which would be to put down a 2 or less, which was Himepo. This is just for essentially an extra attack, or if he wanted to clear board, it's something to go after. So then we go ahead and we swing the 9 at Sabo and we get that. So he's sitting on 4 attacks left. It's his turn. I mean, it's really morbid and bleak for us here. The friendly fire is going. The cannons are off. It is what it is. And yeah, I was just surprised at how much actual Navy cards were in my deck that were actually in my hand. The Dawn allocation for him is he's mathing it out. He's gonna head and swing 7 into life. We use the blocker, and he goes another 7 into life. And I drop some. Oh, and that's the game right there. Unfortunately, we don't take this one. But that's okay. That's part of how it goes. And appreciate my boy. Thanks for the great game. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe.